Meeple Nation podcast. Wow.
Winner! It's going to be a great night.
Here we go.
First try.
The Meeple Nation podcast, episode 594, October 2025, turn 1.
Let it begin.
Welcome, citizens, to Meeple Nation. Grab your favorite beverage, pull up a chair, warm up those dice, and join us at the game table as we discuss board games and the board gaming world. Each week, the hosts of Meeple Nation share their love for board games and the amazing memories that come from playing games with some very outstanding people. Let us now join our hosts in their natural habitat, the game table.
Stan's here now. You got him all worked up.
The dog is in the room and his tail is a wagon.
Yeah.
Well, we are the hosts of Meeple Nation. I'm Douglas Stewart.
I'm Nathan Howard.
And I am Andy Holiday.
And when our powers combine, we do become the world's most okayest podcast with the world's most okayest website. Head on over to meeplenation.com where you can find links to all of our past episodes, learn more about us, click on that Patreon link, which we are always so grateful for. Check out the socials and many, many other fun adventures that await. Actually, maybe not that many. That's probably about it.
You know, we should probably actually update our bios. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's
we
been
should.
a little while. Yeah.
And our pictures, because we're older now.
Maybe we should not update these
not that.
pictures
Probably
then.
not that.
I want everybody to
those
think
pictures
of
are
me
good.
back then.
Yeah. I want to be locked in time.
Yes.
Yeah. So go check it out, meeplenation.com. And as always, we'd love to hear from you. So drop us a line at meeplenation@gmail.com.
Well, I forgot what our name was for a second. The Meeple Nation podcast is sponsored by GameToppersLLC.com.
We are the world's most okayest podcast. Well, who are we?
Who are we?
We love our sponsor, GameToppersLLC.com. They have some amazing product that we love and enjoy tremendously, and you too can favor that joy. And you know what's interesting? We went to SaltCON a couple of weeks back, and we weren't the only ones that brought in.
You're right. I saw
game
that.
topper.
Yeah, that was cool to see other people bringing in game toppers.
And in fact, these guys, because I was on a panel at SaltCON, and I never actually spoke to the people who had it. But apparently these guys came from DC to try to hit this convention to try to kick up some interest in their new Kickstarter. And so they shipped. They took their... they checked their game topper.
They shipped their topper?
They shipped their
Wow.
topper.
That's amazing.
Wow.
And so, yeah, they loaded that in the plane, and it was just super convenient for them that they could ship that topper.
Well, that is one of the things that we probably actually don't talk about enough when we talk about game toppers is how easy and convenient they actually are to move around. I mean, they're a table, so it's not just like,
A table solution.
Right. But I'm table solution. But I don't want to give the wrong impression and say it's just like, hey, a couple minutes, you got it loaded in the car, you're ready to go. There is a little bit of packing up and stuff, but I mean, it's well worth the effort when we go to conventions to take them with us. I mean, they're highly mobile and do a great, it is so nice if you're going to sit at a convention for 2 or 3 days and play games to be able to sit down at a nice table with a nice mat and have that surface to play on.
Yeah. But we take our mats to BGG.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I've never considered taking my whole topper.
The whole table. Yeah, the whole topper.
That's quite the baggage to have checked. Maybe I can fit it in the overhead.
Maybe the kid version.
You could try.
Probably not.
I don't even think the kid version
Probably
would
not.
fit in the overhead. Yeah. All right, I want to go first on our highlights because it's I can't remember what sound
There you go.
There we go.
I got the dog riled up too.
Yeah, there he is. So up or down. So this was an elevator game.
And I'll never think of this game the same.
Me neither.
Why are you talking about up or down? This is horrible.
There's a reason.
This game's
There's a
terrible.
reason.
There's a reason why
Yeah.
he's talking about this game.
So we,
word.
the day before SaltCON prep, we were here playing some game. Brad and I were here, and we were playing up or down, and it was kind of.
You
funny.
were waiting for me to get there.
You were waiting
'cause
for you.
I was running a little
Yeah.
bit late, and you're like, okay, we'll play this quick one, and then we'll play the sort of night feature when you arrive.
Yeah, and this is a game that really slowed down Brad. I mean, it pulled the inner Dave out of Brad.
There was some serious AP at the table.
Like hardcore serious AP.
So
it was ridiculous. It's just a little card game.
Yeah, but it does. So you have 6 cards that are out, and you have a hand of 3 cards, and these cards are placed in ascending to descending order, or they're placed in ascending order. And you take a card from your hand and you put it where it would go in between 2 of the cards that are on the table, and then you're going to take one of those cards that's on the left or the right of where you placed your card, and you're going to add it to one of your 3 columns to represent your elevator car. And then the next card that you place on top of that card is either going to be going up or it's going to be going down. And if you start it to go up, you want all the cards are going to have to be higher than that, so that car continues to go up, or you're going to start at the top level and continue to go down.
So, sort of like Ohanami, only in one direction.
Yeah. That's kind of what I was envisioning.
Yeah, if you're envisioning, Ohanami is a crate. It's a crate.
It's just a card
similarity.
game.
Yeah. It's
So
not.
great.
It's not in a crate.
It's a crate game. Yeah.
But anyways, so this is a great game, and there is a deep challenge into it, because when you want to score, if you cannot place a card into any of your 3 cars, then you're going to take that column and you're going to flip it face down in your discard pile. Or if you're able to keep that card or that stack face up till the end of the game, you're going to count the color that you have the most of, how many instances of that color you have in that stack. And then you go, so like I had 4 pink cards, then I'm going to take 4 times the total number of cards. So if I had 6 cards in there, I'm going to score 24 points for that stack, as opposed to if I couldn't stack it, it just gave me 6 points.
So I noticed that you're still burying the lead.
Yeah. So,
to why we're talking about this.
I just, before I got sidetracked, I really wanted to talk about up and down.
Well, and it was funny.
Down.
Okay, so it was funny because I showed up and they were, you had to have been halfway through the game by then. I mean, you each had a bunch of...
We were more than halfway through.
More than half. Oh, that makes it worse. Okay. So you were like 3/4 of the way through this game. I sat for the first for the first 10 minutes or so. I tried to be quiet and respectful. I was just like, all right, let him finish. There, like, get through this game kind of thing. And then I couldn't take it anymore. This game was dragging on forever. And Brad, and so I just started talking to Richie. I was like, but then that kept dragging Brad into the conversation,
Brad
and so he's over there monologuing, and we're like, Brad, whose turn is it? Take your dang turn. So this game probably took him like an hour and a half to play.
Oh my God.
It was ridiculous.
Meanwhile, I'm sitting here across from Brad, and all of a sudden this room is getting really hot. And I am just starting to sweat profusely, and my backside, not my backside, but my back flank is just starting to really, really hurt. And so I go to the bathroom, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's something. And no. I come back up, and it's just bad. Doug's sitting here to my left, and after the game's over, and so I'm like, okay, whew.
Yeah, it was over for you. Brad was still taking his
Brad was
final
still,
turn
and I never even
for
totaled
20
my
minutes.
score. But I told Doug, say, hey, I'm going to lay on the floor here, and if I pass out, don't do anything. I'll be back. And so sure enough, I'm laying down there, and I'm just starting to make all these awful noises.
He's got the fan running like right on his head.
Oh,
he's
yeah.
laying on the floor, fan running on his head, and he is just like making the like he's dying.
Yeah. And so I'm laying there, the fan's blowing on me, and so Doug brought Vantage, that we were going to play Vantage. Super excited about Vantage, and so they gave the scores. They figured out mine and Brad's score for this, and so Doug's like, "Well, does anybody know Nathan's safe words so that when we can take him to the hospital?" And I'm like, "Not yet." and so I'm feeling much better. So I sit up in my and I'm like, well, let's play Vantage. And Doug's like, well, I'm not going to set anything else further up until you're here, because ironically, the week before, I left game night early because my sister-in-law was in a really bad car wreck, and so we had to go deal with that. And so this was the second week in a row where Thursday night it got interrupted. And so I'm like, no, I'm fine. And so I sit up, and I'm like, No,
I'm not.
I'm not fine. So I got this pain going straight through my side, and I'm like, okay.
You went back down to the floor.
Yeah.
While
No,
I was setting it up.
did I go back down?
You
I
did.
can't
Yeah,
remember.
yeah. You were so out of it, you don't even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you went back down to the floor and you started making even worse noises. And I'm trying to like set the game up, and I'm like, okay, I'm pausing. I was like, Nathan, we've got to get you to the hospital.
Yeah.
And then you got up and tried to walk to the door.
Yeah, and I didn't make it to the door. And I was on my face again, and then I was in the garbage can, and I put on a very boisterous show for everybody that was here.
The pyrotechnics
Right.
began.
Well, right in the doorway, right? So we couldn't really,
nobody could get past
couldn't really
me.
get in or out unless you were getting past Nathan, who's just losing everything into a garbage can for 5 minutes straight.
For the past 3 days, there was stuff that was from 3 days ago that was coming back, and so then I started to feel better, and so I'm like, okay, yeah, we're still gonna go to the hospital. I was pretty sure it was a kidney stone, which, spoiler, it was. But then my wife takes me to the hospital, and I'd never gone on my insurance. I'd never gone to the emergency room, so we're like trying to figure out which hospital I can go to, because you don't want to go to the wrong hospital.
Yeah.
And so we're going to the hospital that's further away, and not the furthest away, but there was an emergency room that was like 6 blocks from the house. But no, we took the 20-minute drive.
You didn't go to the local one.
No, we went to the went to the big one, and oh my goodness, that car ride was terrible. I mean, I've never said that my pain level was at a 10 before, but yeah, my pain level was at a 10, and oh man, it was terrible. And we're going there. And then I get sick again, and my wife, bless her soul, she parks what felt like the furthest away that we could get from the emergency room. And I have this little catch bag that I've caught all the stuff that I brought back to the land of the living, and so I'm a mess, and so I'm stumbling to the ER, and my pain once we stopped, my pain was like down to an 8, and then we stumbled up to the ER. I went to the bathroom to kind of wash my face and my hands, and came back out. They put me in a wheelchair. My pain's at a 5 now, and then they wheel me back and had to make a stop to get them a sample. My pain's at a 3. They get me into the room, put on that robe, and my pain's like at a 1, and I'm like, what are we doing here?
You just needed the robe.
Yeah, I just needed the robe. The robe
magic.
of magic, yeah.
Should just buy one for next time.
So, short story,
Start
way
that
too
way.
long. I ended up with a 7mm kidney stone that at this point is still with me, but has made it past the point of agony, I guess. Andy, you're very familiar with kidney stones. I'm sorry.
Yep, I feel you. I have felt your pain many times, and it is rough. Yes, you want to die.
Oh yeah. But yeah, no, that was up and down.
Was appropriate.
Was appropriate. Yeah, I was up, then I was down. I was up, and then I was down. But up and down was actually a really good game. Kidney stones aside. But yeah, no, it was good.
It was actually appropriate in multiple ways, because you had Brad taking long turns and Cheryl taking her time. So,
oh, bless her soul. I'm dying. And she takes, it felt like 20 minutes to
even come up the
take me
stairs,
to the hospital.
Yeah.
And I mean, everybody was here saying, oh, we can just take you. And I was like, no, Cheryl's here. And I'm just like, finally, I'm like, what if you take me? Because apparently Cheryl's not. But no, it all worked out. She took me, and it was probably for the best that she took me, because had I gotten sick in somebody else's car, I would have felt bad. Not that I got sick in the car, but she needs a car wash.
she needs a car wash.
Oh
boy.
Sorry, Nathan. It was rough. It was rough to watch.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Well, here's the thing. I cannot top that story, but I can continue it a little bit.
Okay, carry on.
Because we had tried to set up Vantage that night and ended up just throwing it all back in the box, and we stopped. However, you and me and Nathan Tenney and Brad did get a chance to play that a few days later.
Yeah.
And really liked it. This is a very cool
Really
game.
liked it.
Yeah. It's interesting to say the least. It feels like a departure from what you typically would expect from Stonemaier, not in terms of the quality, not in terms of the quality at all. Actually, it feels like a high quality Stonemaier game, but just from a sort of thematic and gameplay point of view, this feels like definitely a foray into new waters. Like I feel like we're treading new waters. Trailblazing. There we go. New land. I'm getting all these things mixed up, but anyway, the premise and setup of this
we're
is
exploring new worlds, Doug.
Well, a new world anyway.
Yeah.
And we have received this transmission from a mysterious traveler. We've gone to these coordinates, flown through space. We arrive. Our spaceship malfunctions. We jump in the escape pods, and we all get blown to different places of the planet. And then through the course of play, we may have any number of different missions. We're not necessarily trying to find each other, although my understanding is that can be, some of the missions and destinies is to basically regroup, that kind of thing. But you get totally different missions and totally different starting areas and this huge world to explore. And what's crazy about this game is it's not a campaign game. I mean, it literally has almost 1,700 cards in the box that represent different locations and gear and all these different things. But it's all just completely random what experience you're going to have, what adventure you're going to have. So you could go to all these different places. You could have all these different missions, all these different destinies, collect all this different gear, and try to do any number of different things. Just hundreds of places to explore, to go take actions on. Mechanically, it's cooperative. And you can sort of talk to each other about where you're at and what you're doing, but you can't show people your particular vantage, like what you're looking at and what you're seeing, which I think is kind of an intriguing thing. There were a lot of times when I was, like hearing you guys describe where you were at and what choices you were trying to make as we were playing the game. And I was like, I want to see that. I wish I was somewhere that cool, that kind of thing. And it made me just want to play the game all the more so that maybe I could explore more of those locations and see more of the cards and the stuff that's in the box. So just thematically really cool. All the art I think was really exceptional.
It was really well done.
Yeah. Components are great. Mechanically really sound. I think there's some really fun decisions to make, the way you're manipulating the dice pool, trying to place those dice, burn through it fast without losing your sort of morale, health, and time are sort of the three things that every player is tracking. I thought that the game that we played in particular I didn't feel like it was particularly challenging, but that was because I think we very randomly stumbled across something
direction.
Yeah, it was like the right direction. And Nathan in particular made a series of incredibly difficult dice checks. And we ended up winning the game after only about an hour of play.
Yeah.
And which was actually really cool. And thematically, the way that all came about and sort of the story it told from beginning to end felt really fun.
Yeah.
Like, that's a memory I'll have of that time we crashed on the planet.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I thought it was great.
Yeah. I turned right instead of left and stumbled across a spaceship while somebody else was lost. Was it you or Brad that was lost in the desert?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it worked out great that it was very quick and simple to... No, it wasn't simple, but it just was convenient that I turned that way instead of the other way. And then we don't know what would have happened if I'd gone the other way.
Right.
But yeah, it's just even with that game drew me in almost immediately. I was very excited about it. And you talk about 1,700 cards in there and all those cards with very unique and very well done art. I want to know the difference between the retail version and the Kickstarter, because you have the Kickstarter version, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want to know the difference between So
there's
not going to be a difference in cards.
So it's the exact same. My understanding is it's the same. This wasn't Kickstarter. So this Stonemaier doesn't Kickstart stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. So this is just as far as I know, like the version that I had is the same version everybody else is going to have. Now I did purchase the metal coins, which is just a separate thing you can buy. Anyone can buy it. And I also bought the sort of the double layer player boards.
Nice.
So your card, instead of it being a card, it's actually printed on the middle of the board. And then you have your grid for your gear on the outside that's in a dual layer.
And that was really nice.
So I thought those were nice.
Yeah.
But anybody can get those. There weren't any exclusives. So yeah. I mean, everyone's going to get essentially the same thing when they purchase the game.
So this is very, very high quality game. And this is one that I would love to try to get my family to play, but it's not going to happen. So I'm not going to bother picking it up. But I'm very anxious to try this again because I had a blast with this.
Yeah.
And it was worth having a kidney stone to play it a couple days later.
Well, and it's crazy to just because the next time we play, we're going to crash on the planet again,
different.
and it'll just be a different story.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, way
cool.
excited
Really
about
cool.
that replayability.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, while we were prepping for SaltCON, we talked about this a little bit last week. That we went over to Doug's house, we played SETI, and we played Outer Rim, Star Wars Outer Rim.
Don't forget Lion Pirates.
I was getting there. We played Lion Pirates. But while Nathan was trying to relearn the rules for Lion Pirates, Doug was kind enough to teach me Patchwork.
Oh yeah, it kind of blew my mind that you hadn't played this.
Yeah,
we had talked about it on an episode before.
Yeah, we did. Just a few weeks ago, actually. And so Doug sat down, hey, you haven't played Patchwork, let's play Patchwork. And it was cool. I had a really fun time. It's one I probably ought to pick up because I think my wife will like it. Maybe.
Hopefully she'll think it's different.
Well, she'll definitely think that's going to be the minimum is different.
We hope it's
unique.
Unique.
Or what is her
Interesting.
word?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay. Interesting is good.
Interesting is good. Different is
Indifferent.
I probably don't really want to play that again. Yeah. That's a nice. There's only been one game that she just flat out said I don't like that game, and that was Maracaibo.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Such a great
Maracaibo.
game.
So I won't ask her to play that with me ever again.
And so that's probably tainted Pirates of Maracaibo too, huh? She won't even. No way.
If I just say it's a pirate card game, maybe. I don't know.
Because I would love to try to get Cheryl to play Pirates of Maracaibo. And I think Ashley and Zach would really enjoy it. And I think Cheryl would too. But I don't think I can get Cheryl to go to Maracaibo with me.
Yeah, Serena will never go back to Maracaibo.
Yeah.
No, even Sierra didn't like it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
She didn't care for it.
That is interesting. Interesting.
That is interesting.
It was interesting. It was different.
But hey, back to Patchwork. I bet she would like Patchwork quite a bit. And it gave me an opportunity to pull that new 10th anniversary edition off the shelf.
Which really
is
nice.
really good. Yeah, the production on that's really, I think, quite outstanding. I wouldn't say that it's like higher quality component wise than the rest of the editions, but I really liked the art that they had, the particular palette that they had used for that 10th anniversary. I thought was quite good.
Yeah, I was looking at it online, the regular one versus the 10th anniversary, and I was like, oh wow, that was a huge improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was really nice. And I think that the 10th anniversary, as far as I know, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, I think it's the only edition that comes out that has or that includes the Automa with it, the single player version. So
really?
There is.
Have you tried it?
No, and probably won't, to be honest. But if I know there's a lot of people out there who would be very interested in that, and the 10th anniversary did come with a deck of Automa cards, so you can play it solo if you want.
I really should open my copy.
You should.
There you go, Andy. I'll give you my old copy.
Okay.
It is missing one of the single squares, but it's nearly complete.
Okay.
It's playable for sure.
Well, we can replace a single square.
Yeah, but yeah. No, Patchwork's a great game.
Yeah,
I love to lose Patchwork.
It was fun. I like how
Me
there
too.
is, for as simple of a game that it is, there's still a decent amount of thinking and
There's a huge
forethought.
amount. Yeah.
That, okay, if I do this, what is this person going to do? And so you're trying to outthink or think of so in my case, Doug, I'm like, okay, what is Doug going to take? Or how can I lock Doug into taking the piece I want him to take so that I can get the piece that I want, right? There's a lot of strategy involved with it, and it's such a simple game. I think it's very cool.
Yeah.
Well, and then you think you have somebody locked in, and then they just take the little
You're
like I'm just going to move my pawn up and take buttons action. And you're like, oh,
yeah. So am I.
So am I until you move.
yep.
But then you can do that till you get to the end, and now you're out of. You got a lot of buttons, but you're almost out of time.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times it's because everything's so expensive at the beginning, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, it's all randomly put out.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, excellent. That Patchwork is such a great game. Cheryl loves that game, and she loves that she can just mop the floor with me with that.
I enjoy doing that with you too.
Thanks. I make it pretty easy, actually. Jody thinks so, but
Depends
he
on the
still
game.
plays with me too. So
If it's a game where there's pressure luck, no, I can't mop the floor with you.
No, you're kind of like Cheryl. You try to pressure luck.
It's actually not even that. You pressure luck worse than I do, and it still comes out Nathan. And
yeah, you just got to be awesome.
That's just something that's inherited apparently.
So the last game I was preparing for SaltCON was Emerald Skulls. I got this Kickstarter version with Emerald Skulls and Goblin Vault, I think is the other game that's in there. I haven't actually played Goblin Vault yet. But Emerald Skull was an interesting game, and when I played it at SaltCON, the group really liked it. And when I played it at home, I played it with Cheryl and Zach, and they really liked it as well. So you have a skull. That's the board there, and you have the lower jaw where you can put a dice with a 1 on it, the upper jaw that has dice that have a 2 on, or the face value has a 2 on it, and then the nose, you can put your 3s, and you can put as many dice as you want on any of those locations. The 4, however, there's only 2 eye sockets, so you can only put 2 4s out on the board, and then there is the gem that's in the forehead that the 5s can go. And then what would be the 6 on the die is a skull, which is a wild. And so what you're going to do is you're going to roll your die. You start off with a default of 3 dice, and then you have options that you can either chicken out. If I place a 3, I can no longer place 2s or 1s. So anything that I've placed, the highest value that is on that board, I must place either equal to or higher than that. And so if I bust and I can't place one, then I don't score points there, or I score fewer points. Or if I run out where I've placed all my dice, or I've gemmed out where I've placed a die on the forehead, then I can score different points. And then once I start to get some gears, I can use those gears. I can spend those gears at the first of my turn to increase the number of dice I'm rolling up to 7. So if I want to roll 4 dice, I can spend 1 gear. If I want to roll 7 dice, I can spend up to 10 gears. And once the gears run out, whoever has the most gears at the end of the game wins. So that's one element of the game. The other element that makes it really kind of fun is that the person who is the roller, who is rolling the dice, is just doing that. They're going to roll the die, place at least 1 die, and then continue on. While that's happening, and even before that begins, the other players are bidders. And so they're going to be trying to bid on outcomes of what they think is going to happen. If they're going to run out, chicken out, gem out, any of these ways that the game is going to end, they're trying to wager how they think that's going to happen. And then after I've placed a die and pick up my die, I can roll again. And before I roll the second time, people have the opportunity to continue betting until I have ended or gemmed out.
And I'm guessing the bet is secret?
No,
it's not.
No, it's a very public bet.
No kidding.
Yeah, it's a very public bet. In fact, it's kind of a race. If you're the first person to bet on a location, you're going to get a higher payout, whereas if you're later, you're going to get a less higher payout. And certain options are limited by the number of people who can bid on that result. So you want to bid fast, but you don't want to bid too fast. And if you wait too long, you might be more correct, but chances are you might not get the position that you want to get. So very interesting game. It went really well with Cheryl and Zach. It went really well at SaltCON. Was one that I think you guys would really like. It is a pressure luck game, but it's simple enough and fast enough that it's not quite Can't Stop, but it kind of fits in that little same time frame. Actually, I think Can't Stop's probably still quicker, but it's nice. And the Kickstarter version I have has, like I said, both of those, but there is just a default of either Goblin Vaults or Emerald Skulls. And Goblin Vaults was out a couple of years ago, and Emerald Skulls is the newer one. But when they did the Kickstarter, they just combined the two. But since I didn't have Goblin Vault, it worked out for me. But I thought it was a fun game. Totally recommend it. Check it out. Emerald Skulls.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, I'd check it out at least once. Sounds very... I'm not very good at pressure luck games for reasons that should be quite obvious, because I can't stop.
Because you can't stop.
Well, I have a number of games on my list that I want to talk about, and I'm trying to just limit it to... I'm going to stick to Storm Raiders. Let's talk about Storm Raiders for a minute. This was a game that Andy and I had both backed, and I don't think we had talked about it. I don't think that we knew each other had backed this one.
No, we didn't.
And our copies showed up, and you had brought your copy to BryceCon earlier this year, and got a chance to play it. Absolutely loved it. And my copy has just been sitting on the shelf begging to be played. I've been wanting to play this for a very long time. I finally was able to get the rules out. I had to refresh because it's been a little while. And Brigham and Brad and I played this. I like it just as much now as I liked it back then. I mean, it just reiterated how great this game is. Thematically, I love it. I love this sort of lost Atlantean post-apocalyptic wasteland kind of theme. And I think that it works really well. This idea that the storm is coming through and it's throwing out these, supplies and different things, almost acting like a portal in some ways. And you're going around trying to scavenge all this stuff and fulfill contracts. I really like games that do tight economy or tight, especially like whether it's the actual economy of the game or the action economy of the game. And this is one that does both. I think it's really, really tight because you're going to play this over 6 rounds, and each round you're going to draft 2 dice. So you have 12 turns for the whole game, and you've got to really maximize what you can do in terms of picking up materials and then delivering them to fulfill those contracts. And all the while you're trying to mod your different vehicles, which is another thing that I love about the game. The way that you can travel in 3 different formats, I think was brilliantly executed in this game. From a component standpoint, everything in this game is phenomenal. The acrylic standees, the wooden pieces, the metal coins, like all of it, I guess it's not metal coins. It's what am I thinking? It's the metal metals. Yeah. They're the little metal pieces, the big, thick, chunky plastic mod pieces. This game just hits on all cylinders, and it's one that I want to play again soon so that I can solidify those rules in my mind.
I would like to play this again too, because I haven't played since we played it at BryceCon, and it is one that I've really enjoyed. I lost, but I very much enjoyed playing.
I saw the pictures.
Yeah. In fact, when for the opening video for a long time, I think there's only like 6 videos that ever released, but that picture was the result, right? Where you guys are all happy and I got disgruntled because I was in the losing position of that. So, but I think it's a great game, it plays really, really well.
And it's fast.
Yeah, which was kind of surprising, which is maybe even a little bit frustrating that it went so fast. But it was great that you have those 3 types of vehicles that you can have. I like to call it the big wheel, but you had the 3-wheeler.
Yeah. The trike, the plane, and the submarine.
Yeah. And all 3 of those vehicles that you're trying to manage and move. And
everything's asymmetric as well.
Yeah.
So you can get some cool combinations between the 3 different vehicles as well. Yeah, and you have an asymmetrical ability for your actual Storm Raider.
Yeah. So all the, like you said, Douglas, all the cylinders are firing on this.
Great game.
Everything is done well with this. Great game.
Yeah. And I love it when games have really intuitive, slick design where there's maybe some things that you have to remember, like the number of dice you roll changes on player count, and you add medals only in certain rounds, and the storm only throws out certain amount of resources depending on how far it moves and some of these things. It's all just right there at the top of the board. They just include it as part of, the information that's right there printed. You don't have to try to reference the rule book for all those things. It's right there and so easy. And so even though it has some things that you got to remember, pretty much everything's just printed on the boards where you can see it. And it's great. It's a clear reminder. Really, really slick design.
Yeah, it really was. Well, I talked about this game. I think I talked about it with our SaltCON prep, but I want to talk about it one more time. So this, I hosted Endeavor Deep Sea at SaltCON. We had 1 ticket sold for the longest time for this game, and then that person backed out. So we like 2 days before SaltCON, I had nobody signed up for this game. So I'm like, okay, why am I not even hosted? We still played it. In fact, I don't think I did talk about it because we played it right before SaltCON. So I thought, well, do we need to prep? I wanted to get it one more play in, and we didn't end up playing it just because I thought we have nobody signed up. Let's play some of the games that we have people signed up for. So I got it all set up and sitting there because we finished the other game fairly early on. So it was sitting there for a couple of hours, and I got the cool big box. Holy cow. That thing was an eye catcher. I do not know how many people stopped by and, hey, is this full? is this full? I'm like, well, let's look on the schedule. And at that point I had one seat left. I'm like, well, if you jump into that seat, then yeah, you could totally get into it. But that was for the one game that I had nobody signed up for. It was the one that I had more people coming up and asking if they could get in on the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But it is, once it's set up, it's just such an eye-catching game anyway.
It is really nice. Niece.
It is niece. It's fairly nephew as well.
Very
but
nice.
Anyway, so we had a full player count with a couple that, and by the way, this they're actually going to go on the sidetrack here, but they're going to be on the cruise as well.
Oh,
really?
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Anyway, so there was a guy, myself, and then this couple. Well, I was trying to show them how everything works. So when the turn came around to me, I encountered a merchant ship, and I thought, well, there's no way I'm going to defeat this in the first round, but I'm going to show them how it works. So I normally wouldn't attack the merchant ship, but I'm going to attack it just to show you guys how battle works. And so I flipped the card over. I had one cannon, my one cannon that you start the game with, and there were 6 cannons on the merchant ship. My. So it was one cube to 6 when I dropped those in this broadside tray. And I didn't sink, but I took 3 damage from it. I did get to level up a card for free on the bottom of my deck, which was cool. But so sure enough, I've got 3 damage. I only need 2 more damage to sink. And what does the guy that's right after me do? And he runs over to right where I need to go next, or right to get back to port, and goes into pirate mode.
Nice. Sees an easy target.
Yeah, pretty much. So I'm like, okay, that's how it is. So I'm like building cannons up because he's being pretty aggressive, and you just kind of got to read players with that game on how they're going to play the game. This kid Lance, he kept attacking Sarah because she was a fairly easy target because she didn't build up any of her cannons. I was a gunboat by the end. Anyway, I was basically attacking merchant ships because I had 1,000,000 cannons, but I wasn't actively attacking anybody, and was trying really hard to help them. And I was trying really hard not to win. I still won, but Sarah did really well. She was really close to my score, and then the other 2 weren't even close. But she scored a lot of points on influence, getting islands. And her husband, he's just like, I know how, like, I get the game, because he was helping her. He obviously understood the game, but he just could not. I think he was trying to do everything rather than just focusing on a couple of things. But we had a good time playing this. Every time I play Dead Reckoning, I want to get it right back to the table and play it again. And it's
wait a minute. Did you say Dead Reckoning? I thought you were. You
said Endeavor Deep Sea at the beginning, but just for clarification,
sorry.
Okay. Dead Reckoning is what
Dead
we're
Reckoning.
talking about.
I apologize.
Okay.
Sorry, we had I had hosted 2 nautical themed games at SaltCON back to back. Yeah, it was Dead Reckoning is the one I'm talking about. But yeah, the table presence of that game is amazing.
Well, especially with that big ship that you drop the cubes out of.
Right. You have the big ship. You have the big wooden box that everything's stored in. I had a lot of people come up and ask about that.
That looks really nice.
It does.
That is amazing.
And overall, it was a great experience. I think everybody had fun, and it's one that I've taught at SaltCON prior, and I wanted to teach a game that I didn't have to go dive into a ton of rules, given how busy we have all been over this summer. So, but yeah, I think everybody had a good time.
Yeah, no, my neighbor across the street, I went to talk to him. He's been super awesome. Gave me a bunch of flowers this year that I've put in my garden. And to say thanks, I went over there because he was going to give me some more. But then my mom passed, and so I was like, I wasn't in the planting season. There was confusion going on, and then he went on vacation, so I hadn't seen him for a few weeks. But I went and talked to him, and told him why I didn't come get more flowers from him. And then we were kind of talking about SaltCON coming up, and I was like, you know what? I have 1 ticket for SaltCON left. I'm just going to go ahead and give it to you. And so he was like way excited for this, thought this was great. And then later that day, he comes knocking on my door, and he's like, hey, I need to call my daughter, but I need you with me to call my daughter because I talked to her about all this stuff that we talked about, and my grandkids want to go to this too. And so I gave him a ticket and ended up selling 5 tickets out of that. But
that's awesome.
Yeah, he was at the table when we were talking about stuff, and Dead Reckoning was set up behind me, and because he was thinking it looked similar to a game that he was thinking of designing himself, and was asking me why the game was so awesome. And just that whole ship with the broad cannon coming out where you drop the cubes through there, that dice tower that shows those results, that element in the game. And this is a John Clare, right?
Yeah, it's John DeClaire. This is a card crafting game.
Yeah, so this is, and that's what I told them as well. Such a great game. One that I wish I owned, but it's not one that Cheryl will play. So don't have an opportunity or an audience to play it with, but such a great game. I wish I could play it more often, I guess is what I should be saying.
I can see Cheryl being pretty cutthroat in this game.
Yes, very much so. Actually, yeah.
Actually, yeah.
Definitely gonna get you. But yeah, anyways, that was a long tangent, but yeah, some great games. SaltCON was super awesome. SaltCON was continuing to produce some great memories. Before we do move on, I do want to talk about our friend Russ showed up at SaltCON. He actually works on Coast Guard in Oregon, and he and his wife were there. They have family that lives here, so they were visiting family, and came, and he had heard us talk about Black Orchestra, and we'd brought that up.
I'm glad you're talking about this. Yeah, I want to know what you thought about this.
And so we had talked about Black Orchestra and how I've picked that up, and still I can't remember. I should go through my email and figure out who sent me the notice in the first place that we should totally check out Black Orchestra. But I've picked it up and we still haven't played it. And Russ is like, "Hey, you're here, we're here. Can I teach you Black Orchestra?" And I was like, "Yes, you can." So Mike said he didn't want to play, and so Russ and his wife Michelle were going to teach me how to play. And by the time we got started, Mike was also playing, and we had a lot of fun. So this is a game where you're trying to conspire to eliminate Hitler, and so this is the start of World War II. So Germany's forces are small and they quickly expand across Europe, and so the influence gets broader, and so your opportunities to try to track down and attempt your plots to eliminate Hitler are harder. And then as the war progresses, Germany starts to retreat, and so Hitler becomes more easily tracked. And it is a dice rolling game where you're going to roll your dice to try to complete the plots. You're going to try to get the targets or the bullseyes or whatever to complete those. And this was a really good game. Very fun. Very much enjoyed it. We put all of our eggs into Mike's basket. We had a plot that he was going to do with Russ's character. We were going to be rolling like 10 dice, 8 to 10 dice. I can't remember exactly how many dice we were going to do it, but it just took several rounds where we were trying to build up to this. And then our plot failed. And there's elements where you have to keep your suspicion down. You have to be doing enough stuff because all the characters are officers in the German army that are trying to plot against Hitler, and so you have to do enough to lower your suspicion to avoid being the Gestapo. So you have to avoid the Gestapo, so you don't have to go to the prison, and because when you get stuck in prison, that's a whole bear to try to get out of there. And but the game it's a cooperative game, and definitely not an easy cooperative game. At least our experience was not an easy cooperative game, which I like because I like cooperative games to have a challenge. But Black Orchestra was phenomenal, and Russ and his sweet wife were super nice, and it was very good to meet both of them and to play games with them. So we want to make sure we say thanks to Russ for taking time to not only come and say hi. I totally missed giving him a crisp high five, but it was great to play a game with him and he and his wife. So
fantastic. That's awesome. I'm glad that you have a good review of it, because I know that's one that's been on our radar for a while, and I'd be interested in checking it out.
Yeah, I think it's totally worth the while to check out and try again. I would like to try it without Andy or Mike again, and probably without you too, Doug. You guys all say how dice hate you. I mean, Mike rolled like all these dice like 6 times to try to do like a practice.
Okay, I take it back. Glad you had a good time with this. I guess I won't be playing.
I want to play it again without you and you.
Well, just because you guys are all like, oh, D6 hate me. And
Apparently, this is just one and Nathan's going to enjoy with Russell.
Yeah.
From here
Yeah.
on.
probably. But no, I think you guys actually will like it. But I think you will be frustrated with the randomness of the dice. I don't know. Maybe it'll be the one time that D6 love you.
Maybe.
But yeah,
I doubt it, but maybe.
It happens from time to time.
from time to time.
Once in a blue moon.
Didn't happen for Mike,
It happened last night.
did it?
Yeah. Yeah, we were playing Sword and Sorcery until 2 a.m. But the D6s loved me last night. I was
Nice.
I was a rolling maniac last night. It was great. So it was our second adventure in that game, so campaign, and it's actually really good. Now, the first half of it was really bogged down with rules, and
Sorry, all I got is the Maniac song. In
there
my
was
head now.
plus there was a movie on, and
Good thing I wasn't there.
well, Richie was just as bad as you, if not
Oh,
worse.
really?
Oh my gosh, it was
Really?
bad. Yeah, trying to get people to stay focused on the game. It was wicked, and
Oh, of course, something that you can sing with too.
something,
Yeah,
and
that's
we all
fun.
know how Richie
Oh,
loves
that's
to
fun.
sing. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was. The first part was a little painful to get through. Once that
So-
ended, it was better.
Yeah.
He's
Funny
supposed to be taking on this demon army, and instead he's over there singing.
Yeah.
Singing something about gravity or something.
Gravity,
I don't know.
So the funny thing is, so this is going to validate my point, is that the day of the kidney stones, Richie was here talking to Douglas, and we were talking about some music, so I was playing some music, and Richie starts singing, and I was like, dang it, Richie, this is why we can't have vocals. He's like, oh, my singing's fine, it's not bothering anybody, and I was like, yeah, it's not bothering anybody.
That's why I said something.
Yeah, and apparently it was true with Wicked too. So
Yeah, it was
So
between
I am justified.
between eyes on the screen, and I think it was divine providence, because the breaker popped in the middle, and the TV and the little inflatable screen, the screen went woo and just deflated, and the movie turned off, and it was really tempting to just say, well, all right, everybody go to bed because movie's over. But I was nice and reset the breaker so they could finish the show. But anyway, we still had a good play. We probably should have started it a little bit earlier.
A little bit.
2 a.m. was not only that, we were staying at my dad's, so this was over at our family property, and my wife was waiting for us, and my boys were waiting for us to finish. Luckily, my wife had a puzzle to keep her busy, but poor Carson, he just went and crashed on the couch inside the cabin, and yeah, he was not happy. Caden was like, how much longer? And one of the players left because he had to go home, and so Caden, come play, and he was so. That kid was like half asleep. He was so, Caden, good job, Caden. You made a good choice. And he's like, huh? But that's a game I'm really looking forward to playing again.
Good.
I like the fact that it feels like, well, number one, I like the fact that you level up together. Like, not necessarily together, but I was the first character to level up to level 2, but I can't go up to level 3 until everybody else is level 2. And it's
interesting.
The experience is group experience. You have to spend it to level someone up, but you can't say, okay, well, you're struggling, we're going to bump you up to level 2 before someone else jumps into level 2. So it keeps
power level one person.
It keeps everybody more even. But I also felt like, just with the gear drops and everything else, that you are still feeling there's a challenge for sure, but I felt like it's not a slow grind to improve. You can actually see improvement in your characters, which I think is great. That makes it fun for a dungeon crawl and a campaign game. I hope it doesn't get to where you just walk through everything and then it gets boring, but time will tell on that.
All right. Well, that was exciting, and oh my goodness.
We did it again.
We did it again.
No worries.
This new format is, I don't know. I like talking about things, but yeah.
That's what we're here to do.
Yeah, it is here what we're here to do. But man, yeah, we've been going and we haven't even got to anything new. So let's pick one game each.
Let's do it.
I'll go ahead and start. For the Emperor is a 2-player game. 2 ancient clans work to overpower, outwit, outmaneuver each other to claim victory. So this is a dueling card game that pits ancient clans against each other for control over 7 battlefields. So it's kind of spread out a little bit. It's a quick, strategic, and it has a small footprint, which is nice. Maybe put it on the shelf next to your tiny epic games. Players are going to have a hand of cards, each with unique strength values, often special abilities. And during that, they're going to, the game revolves around playing these cards to win individual battles. So it kind of brings me to mind like Chuhan. Doug, you and I played that together.
Yeah.
Corey and I have been playing that several times, which I think I have to check my stats, but I think we're actually pretty close on those to win-loss ratios to each other. Chuhan's a great game, but this game is a pure head-to-head duel, which doesn't bother me in a 2-player game. But every turn matters. We have a limited card pool, multiple battlefields, creates a tense back and forth trying to anticipate your opponent's moves and your counter moves. The rules are said to be simple, so hopefully they are, allowing a fast setup gameplay session that makes for an excellent filler game. So this is one that I'm looking at for sure. We'll see how it pans out.
Isn't Up and Down supposed to be a filler game?
Yeah, but it depends on if you spend more time down than up. Jerk.
So
and
good.
you never play a filler game with Brad, because then it's not a filler game.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like when we were trying to leave SaltCON and Brad was there.
Oh my gosh, you're right. Oh, that was so funny.
It was. And we were at SaltCON standing with our cars with our car doors open, all getting ready to leave. And we were there for an hour.
Listening to Brad tell a story about his life. We went through Brad's whole life.
Yeah.
It was
which was
awesome.
kind of short like him, but.
Aw.
And sweet like him.
Yeah.
But
Brad is awesome.
Brad is awesome.
We definitely give Brad a hard time, but he is awesome, and it's been great to.
Oh, it's been so
to
good
have
having him in the group.
Part of the group's been wonderful.
That's actually what the discussion was about, was that he's fun to tease.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked him why it was so fun to tease him, because he's such a good sport about it. And he dishes just as much as he gives,
he
right?
does.
Which makes it perfect, and there's no picking on Brad, right. Although we are harassing Brad quite a bit. But yeah, no, it was funny. But I did open a can of worms when I asked Brad why he was so fun to tease.
Yeah, you did.
And an hour and a half later, it was I had to cut him off. I was like, all right, Brad, we're going home.
Oh, that is funny.
But anyways, For the Emperor should be a great filler game, considering getting that one.
Awesome.
Good times. I like it. Well, so, one of the things that we're trying to do is to take part of the podcast to talk about things that are new to us or that we're excited about, that kind of thing. So where our time is limited, I want to do something a little different. I want to just talk about what's going to be hitting my table in the near future. This is all stuff that's already out, but this is the stuff that I'm excited that I'm hoping to get to my table soon. So I have a couple of side tables that I have set up. I've already got most of the Cthulhu Death May Die stuff all out and organized and ready to go. And I'm going to start doing a marathon through the chapters. So, and this is one where with each chapter of all the seasons, if I've got my kids that can join me, if I've got other people there that want to join, awesome. If not, I'm just going to start playing through them. There's so much content that I haven't played with this one, and I've just got to get it done. And I'm really looking forward to that. So I've got a bunch of Cthulhu Death May Die stuff that's going to be hitting the table soon. We talked about Vantage. I really want to get this one played several more times to get a better feel for the random nature of the game and how the different missions play out. So that's going to be really fun. And then speaking of Brad, he and I have been conspiring a little bit, and on nights when you have your other stuff scheduled, Andy, I think we might try to get a little Rise of Fenris campaign snuck in there.
Great idea. I like that.
So yeah, we're gonna start playing through that. I recently received Farshore and Silverfrost, the Everdell standalone games, and they both look really good. So I need to get the rules read for those. Want to get both of those played quickly, and then last but not least, the Film Fatale scenario for Arkham Horror, the LCG. Recently dropped, and that's one I've been looking forward to for a while. It looks really good thematically, just a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to get that one played soon as well. So a lot of fun stuff coming to my game table, hopefully in the next month or so. So I'll follow up on some of those things as time goes on.
Excellent.
All right. Well, I'm going to talk about a game that has been announced but has not yet hit crowdfunding. And it is based on a video game, which I've apparently been talking a lot about those lately. But this is based on the game Don't Starve.
Don't Starve.
It's a game I'd not heard of before, but the art is very unique. It has kind of a, not necessarily Nightmare Before Christmas feel, but kind of Nightmare Before Christmas feel to it. But this is one where you are going through, it is a campaign game. You have characters that have asymmetrical powers. You're fighting different mobs. You're trying to craft items. You're trying to gather resources so you can craft those items. You are also exploring the map. The map has different terrain tiles that will have has monsters or things to interact with, things to resources to gather. There's going to be different things based on where that is. But you also are going to build your base so that you can craft your items and you can increase the effectiveness of your base. I think it's going to be kind of cool. This is one that seems really interesting to me. I love the fact that there are one of the main characters, and this is just the pre-launch page I'm looking at here, but one of the characters is Wilson. So Wilson has two abilities.
Volleyball?
Not the volleyball.
Oh, okay.
But Wilson has two abilities. He has beard growth. So Wilson's beard grows each round, shielding him from the cold. Shave it to regain sanity and gain extra resources. So his beard is so long that he's gathering resources in his beard. So when he shaves it, it's like, oh, hey, where'd that come from? Awesome. And then you can convert basic resources. His other one is transmutation. You can convert basic resources into valuable items like flint into gold, and you can restore sanity with each transmutation. So this is a balance between your sanity, your hunger, and your health. And there's day and night. So depending on there's going to be different effects depending on whether it's day or night. There's another character, Wendy. One of her abilities is she has her sister with her at all times, who happens to be a ghost, and it's kind of quirky and fun. And I think it looks like it could be interesting to play. The art is definitely unique. It's not necessarily my favorite art style, but it's not bad. But yeah, this is one that I've been straying away from Kickstarters, but this may be one that I actually back.
Interesting. Well, if you pick it up, I'm very interested to try it.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. It does look, almost feels like the Mad Barber. What's his name? What's that one?
Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd.
Yes.
Yeah, it almost looks a little bit like Sweeney
almost
Todd.
Almost like that,
there.
Yeah. It kind of has a little bit of a macabre, that's what they're going for, right?
For sure.
But yeah, it's not super macabre, cartoony.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's, Anyway, it looks interesting. Looks kind of like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it kind of executes that in a fun way.
Yeah. Well, it looks good.
So I know we were only going to talk about one game, but I'm not going to talk about any games in particular. I'm just going to talk about announcements. They have announced that Let's Go to France is going to be happening.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting.
And so it sounds like they may be starting a trend with the Let's Go to games. Now I know that France probably doesn't jump out at Doug quite like Japan did, because Janet.
It's true.
But
Doug
Andy 2.0 will be in this.
Yes, that's true. So yeah, I think that's kind of cool. Plus, we have officially shelved Shadows of Brimstone.
So are you through with it?
No.
Oh, okay.
We've shelved it for probably a couple of years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Do tell.
So we had Sierra leave, and Justin, who's in our group, he's in two different campaigns, and he said he's so busy and family stuff coming up. He's like, I've got to pick one. I'm picking Aeon's Trespass Odyssey. So he said, I'm going to be out on Shadows. All of us are kind of getting to the point where we're like, yeah, we're ready for something new anyway. So Logan hasn't been told this yet, but we're shelving Shadows of Brimstone, and we are bringing Stalker on back out.
Did you pick up Stalker?
I did not. I was going to pick up Stalker.
Right, but Logan said he was going to do it.
Right. Well, Brian Hirschbach picked it up.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to play his copy of Stalker.
Okay.
And I'm really excited because this game looks amazing.
It does look really cool.
The terrain in this game, it's it's set in Russia, Chernobyl. So as you're exploring things, you can encounter mutants, you can encounter radiation, just all the toxic radioactive rain and up and coming emissions, anomalies, bands of mutants roaming around. So there's a lot that sounds like there's a lot to explore. This is a co-op story-based zone crawler, and I'm excited to try this. When this kickstarted, I'm like, ooh, this looks really good.
It did look good.
And so it's rated 8.7. It only has 537 ratings. But this is one that I've been wanting to play, and I think Logan backed out of his pledge.
Oh, did he?
I think so. So I was really happy to hear that Brian had backed this so that we can get a chance to play it. So this is taking the place of Shadows of Brimstone for at least until we get done with this. But once this is done, we may jump into Hunter's 1492, AD 1492, which is one that I really want to get to the table as well.
Is that one you have?
I own that one. Yeah.
Okay.
And it looks amazing too. So
Is that the Vampire Hunters one?
yeah, and
Okay. Mike has that one. I've played it. It's actually really good.
Is it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Yeah, it's good.
so yeah, the weapon upgrade system in that looks really neat. Yeah, they all like click into each other and fit on what weapons you can upgrade. And anyway, yeah, that one looks good. So I'm excited to try that. We'll probably try that after we try Stalker the board game.
Excellent. That sounds awesome.
Sounds cool. Yeah, I'm looking at some of these images, and Stalker does look good.
Yeah, we checked it out of the BGG library, and that's all we did.
But it looked cool.
Yeah, this is one that's going to take some dedicated time to learn, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Rules and stuff for sure. Fantastic. Well, anything else you guys have to talk about before we wrap this one up?
Just one other thing.
I said no.
Drink more water.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Sabrina told me that.
Until
Apparently
next
she's
time.
told you that.
She did. Water cures everything.
Water cures everything.
If you're sick, drink more water. If you have a kidney stone, drink more water. If you have a headache, drink more water. If you're hungry, drink more water. If you're fat, drink more water. It's a cure-all.
I guess I better go start drinking more water.
So what if I'm ugly? Do I drink more water
yes.
too?
Yeah, it will improve.
I always thought it was you drink more beer if you're ugly.
No, that's if the other person is.
Oh, that's right. Oh, well. I don't know why I went that way. But
Okay.
That went in a weird direction.
yeah, it did. I apologize.
All right. Well, until next time.
Stay hydrated at the game table.
Thank you for listening and being a part of Meeple Nation. If you would be so kind as to follow, subscribe, share, and rate or review this podcast, it really helps to spread the fun. You can be more involved in supporting the podcast by joining the nation at patreon.com/Meeple Nation, or you can find a link at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. And while you're there, look at all our extra content. There are links to all our past episodes, a wide variety of blogs, pictures from our Instagram feed, and bios for all the hosts and our awesome bloggers. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all under Meeple Nation. If you would like to chat with the hosts or other members of the nation, you can join our Facebook group, Meeple Nation Off Air. We hope to see you again at a game night, a con, or maybe a suspense-driven evening of Werewolf. Thank you for listening and supporting Meeple Nation, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
Thank you so much for listening. We very much want to thank our patrons who help keep the podcast running. I personally want to thank my co-hosts for all the help they provide with both content here on the podcast, in addition to what we have available on our website. Without them, the podcast would not happen. If you too would like to support the podcast, you can join the nation at patreon.com/Meeple_Nation. Or you can find a link to Patreon at the top of our webpage, meeplenation.com. If you have any questions, comments, or games you feel should be on our radar, you can always reach us at meeplenation@gmail.com. We can't wait to hear from you. I am grateful to Doug and Andy who helped me edit episodes, and I want to thank James and Kim Clark who do the editing on our blogs and on our webpage, which can be found at meeplenation.com. We want to thank Brain Detergent for our music. If you want to find more from him, you can follow his links that can be found on our webpage, or simply search for Brain Detergent on YouTube to find more of his tracks. Thank you again for listening and being part of the Meeple Nation community.